Well, all right, everyone. Welcome back to day 7 of our 7 days challenge streaming here on Laguna Bay. I'm your resident representative, Enchante, and this is our island known as Laguna Bay, otherwise referred to as the Enchanted Island. Later tonight, we will take a look at the things that we have done this week in setting up our island, and then we will continue to think about what we're going to do next week in continuing to build our island. Right now, we're at a 4-star. Our goal is to get to 5-star. But prior to us taking that tour of our island and thinking about what we're going to do to get to become that 5-star island, we're going to take a break, visit with our sisters over at Fresh Breeze, that being Sparkles and Stormy. And we're going to pick up a few items from our sisters who are sharing some things with us tonight. And then we'll come back to Laguna Bay. And while we're there at Fresh Breeze, we'll take a quick tour for those who are new to the channel, so that you can see what that 5-star island looks like and some of the work that we've done there over the past year. Well, all right, we're all set up now to be able to go and visit our sisters over on Fresh Breeze. But before we go, let's take a look and see how we did this week in our Happy Home Academy rewards. So first of all, Tipper, beautiful, wonderful girl, gave us something and a gift in our mailbox. So we'll take a look and see what that is. Happy Home Academy. It looks like this week we have a rank of S, and looks like they really like the way it looked, and so there we are. So we're having a good time with that. I'll leave these items here. The only other thing we'll do is we'll grab the music. Oh, but my pockets are too full to hold that, so I guess that means we need to go in here and get rid of some stuff. So let's put a few things in storage, critically important before we go visit our sister island over on Fresh Breeze, as there are many items that are going to be there for us to be able to pick up. So Tipper gave us some socks. Thanks a lot, Tipper. We appreciate those socks. These items we're just going to drop here because when we come back, we will definitely sell them or get them assessed. No point in putting them in storage, because then it'll just take us even longer to get these things back out from storage. All right, let's go make a little bit more room. Drop our items here. Okay, and we can put these in storage. That'll give us some opportunities there. Okay, all right, so it looks like now we're ready to get set up so that we can go and take a visit to Fresh Breeze. For those who are new joining us on the channel, Fresh Breeze is the original island that I started a year ago when the game first came out. And just as a background, a little bit of history about me. I've never owned a Nintendo Switch. I bought one right at the start of the pandemic, right after the game came out. My love for Animal Crossing really was from watching my kids play the game when it first came out many, many years ago. They were huge Animal Crossing fans. And once the pandemic came about, and I had a little bit of extra time, well, a lot of extra time, if you really want to think about it, to actually start to begin playing video games. That's when I started. And the very first game I started with was the Animal Crossing New Horizons on the Nintendo Switch. Since that time, I've picked up quite a few other games. I've been fortunate enough to also be able to get the PlayStation 5. And so there will be times once I figure out how to set it up that you will find on my channel that I will be playing a game that I really enjoy there called Sackboy, which is lots of fun. You'll hear lots of laughter from my part. Sackboy keeps quite a bit of noise as he's running around, and it's really, really a fun game to play. So right now, as I said earlier, we're getting ready to take a visit over to our sister island on Fresh Breeze. As I mentioned earlier, it is a 5-star island, so we'll spend a little bit of time there. We'll pick up some items that the residents have left for us, the resident representatives. So on that island, our main representative is Sparkles, and her sister lives on the island with her, and her name is Stormy. So as we visit Fresh Breeze tonight, we will meet Stormy. Well, all right. Welcome to Fresh Breeze. As I mentioned earlier, this is a 5-star island. And tonight, our guest playing with us on the island will be Stormy. So she is coming out of resident services now. She is one of the resident representatives at the island. And she's going to come out and greet her sister from Laguna Bay, which happens to be Enchante. So there we are. This is Stormy. All right, so it looks like our sisters have left us quite a few things here on the island. Earlier today, turnips were actually 91 bells on this island. So the sisters were very kind and actually bought some additional turnips for Stormy. She only had enough to buy about 100 turnips on her island. There were 93 bells earlier. So this week we got a really good bargain on buying the turnips. I hope that we actually get a good return on our investment across both islands, but we shall see. So our sisters left us, as I said, some turnips. We had a few fossils. This island already has all of the fossils in the museum. We're trying to build the fossils into the museum for Laguna Bay. So we have some fossils here. Hopefully we'll have something that we don't already currently have. And then they also left us a song, KK Jazz, a couple of poolside beds. If you recall, we built a pool, resort pool up on one of the upper decks on Laguna Bay. So now we have some poolside beds that we can lay out there. Shaved ice maker, I think that's going to be really good, especially to sit down beside our coconut drink, where we're making drinks at our little resort area where we can sit and enjoy and relax ourselves. So it looks like we have quite a few things here. Thank you very much to our sisters here on Laguna Bay. On Fresh Breeze. So now, coming out of the airport, I promised that I would give you a tour of this particular 5-star island. And so here we are. We're going to take a tour of it. So here on Fresh Breeze, we have started to set up our decor in preparation for the cherry blossom season as well as the Easter season. We changed out all of our flowers at the start of the island at the entrance here to more of the soft pastel spring colors. We also have a few of the camellias here in that soft pastel pink. And of course, we took this bed and again we incorporated here some of our hybrids, particularly the ones that were in more of the soft spring colors. Once again, here is Static, my absolute favorite villager. So I'm very happy to have him as a resident here on our island of Fresh Breeze. Enchante had a chance to speak with him. And now let's go take a look and see what we have for sale inside of our Nook's Cranny. All right, so we have a jukebox. We already have that on our island. One of the floor spotlights, we already have that. So it looks like we have most everything that we want on our island of Laguna Bay already that's here. So the one thing we have been looking for is tulips, and we are in luck. We have already gotten our purple tulip, so our goal now is to start to make the pink tulips over on Laguna Bay. So we will purchase some of the tulips here. I think we're short on space, so let's take a look. Yep, we're a little short on space. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a quick trip back home, drop off some of those items, and then we'll come back and get the tulips because we do not have tulips in our Nook's Cranny on Laguna Bay. So we will take this detour real quick, go back over, drop off the wonderful things that our sisters here on Fresh Breeze have given us, and then we'll come back and get some additional tulips. So while we are heading back to Laguna Bay, I'd like to open up the chat. So just to make everyone aware, our chat is open, so please feel free to join in the conversation. Always happy to not only make friends playing Animal Crossing, but also to make friends with other players and other streamers across the Animal Crossing family. So very happy to do that and look forward to meeting new folks. So we're just going to drop these items here because our goal is to go back to Fresh Breeze and get some more of those tulips so that we can continue to fill out our garden here. There, we'll keep that here, and I'll also keep the pink rose here. As a matter of fact, I think it'd be pretty cute to wear the pink rose, so let's wear it. There we go. Always fun times with that. Alright, so we'll make our way back over to Fresh Breeze and get us some more of the tulips so that we can continue to grow the various colors of tulips that we'd like to have on our island. So right now we have the purple tulip, we have the black tulip. I'd like to get the purple tulip, I'm sorry, the blue, not the blue tulip, the pink tulip is what we're trying to grow next. All right, so we're on our way. All right. Hey, we're back. Let's get some yellow tulips. Well, all right. Now, as promised, we're going to go ahead now and take a tour of Fresh Breeze, our 5-star sister island. So as we come out of the airport, we have access to our resident services, and perhaps we will leave a note today for okay, let's turn me off. So we want to create a post. All right, so we will move along here. Gonna keep moving along here. So this is our resident services. And this, of course, is our shopping district here at the front of the island. So we're going to go here and see what is in the Able Sisters. See if there's anything we'd like to purchase today. Cardigan combo. Might not be anything for us today. And in this one here, yeah, wrestlers. Cowboy hat. Let's see. Do they have a cowboy hat that'll look good? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it. Let's do the cowboy hat. And while we're at it, let's get us some cowboy boots. Nope, don't like those. No, we'll go for the cowboy hat. Like that a lot better. And let's see, is there a skirt we want to wear in here? Cropped pants. Any of these cropped pants? Let's see how those look on us. Ooh, my. That's a look. Well, all right, we're gonna go with it. Yep, put us on some red shoes. All right. Oh, we don't have enough money to buy all of this stuff. All right, so what are we gonna take off? Oops, we're gonna take that off. And we're probably gonna have to take off these crop pants that we have on here. Yep. You know, if I'm really looking at this, I believe we're going to get rid of the cowboy hat, the Outback hat. No, nah, let's keep the Outback hat. Yep, that looks good. All right, so here we are. Okay, so now we've made a visit to the Able Sisters. We have purchased a cowboy hat to kind of upgrade our look. And so now let's continue on. Taking a tour, we'll go to our main resident representative. This is Sparkle's house. Outside of her house, we have a beautiful setup here. We can sit out as friends and enjoy some tea and some donuts. I know they're called something different, but donuts is fine for now. So inside of this house here, we have a beautiful living room, complete with a kitchen. Behind this, we have a bedroom. Still has snow in it, so we'll decorate that, make it more appropriate for the spring. But as it stands right now, it's a great bedroom, lots of antique furniture, including, and it also has our wedding set in there. So when we get ready to set up our island for the wedding season, we'll have some outfits to actually add to it. And over on this side, we have, oh, a mermaid themed room. So these are all of the items that we actually get when we are out swimming, and we get the gifts from Pascal, or the recipes from Pascal and gifts. So that's in tribute to the mermaid look. And what do we have across the hall here? Across the hall here, we have another tribute to the sea. This time, we have our seashell items, a bed, a couple of lamps, table, radio, and we have a few of the very nice animals that we can catch either by swimming or fishing. So we have a koi there, and we have, I forgot what this is called, but we have one of those there as well. And so now let's take a look upstairs and see what we have upstairs in Sparkle's house. Ooh, up here. Oh, this is very nice, very nice. Very nice indeed. We have it laid out in style here. Great table. You can come and eat, have a feast, and several other items. Very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. And then we go down to our basement here. And what we find in our basement is a game room. Obviously, we have lots of different games here. The one thing I can't find is a green stool in order to be able to put with this green game. I have a blue one and I have a red one, but I do not have the green one. So hopefully one day while we're playing on one of our islands, we'll end up with the green version of the stool, and that will complete that look. But once again, this is just our basement area. We set it up with some graffiti on the walls, a few games, TV, so various activities. All right. So that is the complete tour of our resident representative Sparkle's house. So very nice, very nicely set up, very nicely done. That was a great tour. So now let's go look at some of the other points of interest on this island. So of course here we have a maker station. There's a lot of space themed activities here. There's a bottle. Let's see what it is. A beekeeper's hive. Awesome. We do not have that recipe for Laguna Bay. We do have it here on Fresh Breeze, but we don't have it on Laguna Bay, so that was very nice. All right. We have several different flower beds here. We have the hyacinths here. And come on through here, pass by here. We have this cliff kind of set up around the Nook's Cranny. Here we have our museum. Well, we won't go inside. It's pretty much almost complete. Sisters have been working hard and completing it here. And here is Hazel's house. Hazel is one of our first residents. In fact, she came over to the island with us, and she has remained with us throughout the year as we have continued to build our island here on Fresh Breeze. Here we have, as I said, we have a beehive already. So here we set up a stand. There's a beehive behind it. We have the yellow flowers, the yellow mums that'll give us an opportunity to actually be able to make the mum pillows that we can sit on. And so, again, this is just the area that's right outside of our museum. Tribute to Hazel, our first villager. And so now we'll go back over to this side and back behind Stormy's house. This is actually Stormy's house right here. So back behind Stormy's house, we have some gold roses, an area here where we could dine if we chose to dine. A few trees here, fruit trees, and then as we come to the front here, we see how this is laid out. So let's go take a tour very quickly of Stormy's house. Let's see how this is laid out. Let's see what our sister has done here on this house. All right, so here, Stormy must be a party girl, because as soon as you come in, she's got a bar set up right here. You can get a drink, get you something warm to eat, nice and warm to eat. And she's got a microwave there, everything to kind of just set it up, and you'll be able to come in and enjoy. She's got a few pinballs. She's got a pinball machine here, lounge area where you can sit. And of course here she's got the jukebox. There's a foosball table here. If you need to make something while you're here, she's got a little a mini DIY station. And over here is another spot where if you want to grab a bite, enjoy your soup, you can do that right there. All right. So now let's go into this room. So here she has set up a actual store, like a little general store inside of the house. So here you have a chance and opportunity. You can come in, get some pastries, some coffee, buy various things from the pantry there. So this is done very nicely. Set up. It is a little small general store that has been set up for the visitors to Stormy's location. Very, very nice. So now let's take a look and see what is in the back room here. So in the back room we find Stormy's main bedroom, very nicely laid out, complete with a bathroom and a sink, bed, koi fish. Very, very nicely done. So that is Stormy's bedroom. And now let's see what's in our second room third room rather, off of the main room here. Very nice indeed. It looks like Stormy has just dedicated a room, kind of like a museum place where you can just sit and zen and relax. She's kind of set this up right here, showcasing all of the astrological items that you get from Celeste. I think there's a couple missing, but I think it's just a matter of her making them. I think the Pisces, there's the Aquarius urn. I believe the Pisces star item is missing, astrological item is missing, and I think the only other thing missing from this would be the Pisces and Aquarius items. So very good, very nice indeed. I'm sorry, the Pisces and the Taurus item. We have the Aquarius. We don't have the Taurus and the Pisces. Okay, so now let's take a look at the upstairs here. Oh, very nice. Very nice. This is set up kind of like a spa hotel type of area. Here you can come and get your facial or get, as you relax. Over here, watch a little TV. If you're here visiting, staying overnight, there's a couple of beds for overnight guests at the location. And here's a cypress tub where you can take a nice relaxing bath. So again, this is very nice what has been done here to create a spa-like, zen-like area for guests. And so now let's take a tour of the basement. Here, the basement, this looks just like it's being set up as a pirate location. So lots of items we get from Gulliver as Gulliver the Pirate. So many of them are showcased here. It appears that there's probably space here to add some additional things and do some additional points of interest. So I'm sure over the next couple of months we come back and visit. I'm sure that Stormy will have done quite a bit more to decorate and set up that pirate ship look that she has down there. All right, so that's the final tour of Stormy's house. So now we can go over, we see there's lots and lots of variations of the hybrid flowers, especially some of the rarer hybrid flowers. We see the blue pansies here. We see the purple tulips, I believe they're purple. And we see the blue windflowers. I'm sorry, not blue windflowers, the blue hyacinths. So she's got quite a few, including the green mum. So she's got quite a few of the rare hybrids there. Right outside of that, we have a nice little coffee station here, coffee and pastry station. So when you're outside visiting, you can actually come here and get some pastries, get some coffee. Nice location there. And outside of that is a nice little rose bed, paying homage to the purple roses. And here is one of our residents, Nate. All right. And so our campground is here, right across from what would be our main area, coming across from our shopping district. You come right over. Campground is right here, picnic area. We showcase our catch of the day here. Campsite is set up, bench here. And this, of course, is where we have visitors to our island where they come and they stay. It's very nice back here. Nice little pond. A couple of ducks around it and one of the statues. And here is another one of our residents, Freya. So let's go inside and see what Freya is up to tonight. Swept up pioneer, swept away pioneer. Pretty cool. All right, so here we just see Freya's house. She's gotten quite a few things that she's collected over the months that she's been here living on the island, in addition to what she originally started out with. This is pretty cool. So now we are making our way up to the second level on our island, and we'll take a little bit of a tour here. So here we have one of our residents on this island. Let's see who this resident is. This is Felicity. Oh, Felicity. Look at there. Felicity's got the one thing that I'm very jealous about. She actually has the iron garden bench. I don't have that. I'm very, very jealous. I've been looking for that recipe for quite some time now, and I have not been successful in getting it yet. So it is really, it will be very, very exciting once I get that, because then I think I'll do quite a bit of change outs and decorations, not only here on the island of Fresh Breeze, but also it will add to the aesthetic of our island over on Laguna Bay. We are rose heavy. I tried to make sure I started to contain some of these gardens. Still got some work to do here with these rose gardens. But of course, there they are. Very nice. So on the second level, another one of our residents that lives here is Nate. We met Nate earlier. It's also where we have some of our flower beds showcasing the green mums and the orange tulips working in conjunction together. We have a little pumpkin patch here. And then if we go up to the third level here, we will find that we've set up, let's go down here so we can take a look at it. So coming here off the back of Felicity's house, we can come right upstairs, and we have a very nice calming setup here, complete with bamboo benches where the residents can sit and enjoy that calming zen that is there. We have a small pond here, and over here we have some more of our hybrid flowers that we've kind of set in a patch here. So we have the blue windflowers, and we have a purple windflower here. We set it by itself so it can actually reproduce itself or clone itself. Here we have some black tulips as well. And there's our buddy Static again. Makes sense that Static is back here because this is Static's house. Again, our sisters have to do a little bit of cleanup and get these flower beds here where they're not overtaking the entirety of the lawn. But of course, along the way here, we have some purple pansies. Very nice. Plenty of black tulips along that edge. So now let's make our way back over here. And we'll cross this bridge right here. We'll come back over here and let's visit another one of the villagers here on Fresh Breeze. And this time we're visiting with Alice. Ooh, I gave Alice this thing last night and she figured out what to do with it. Oh wow, I wouldn't know what to do with it at all. So Alice is here. She's preoccupied making something. So let's find out what Alice is making. A peach rug. Not sure if we have that recipe or not. We don't. Awesome. So again, we've come to visit our sister island, and we've run across a couple of recipes that we did not have, so now we do have them. So this is awesome. This is working out very well. All right, so let's learn that peach rug recipe. Alrighty, so there we are. We can now make a peach rug. And I believe the other day when I came over, I picked up the peach chair recipe. So when we're setting up some things inside of Enchanté's house, perhaps down in our basement, we want to do something a little special down there, especially since pretty much our basements here have been for the game rooms and the pirate themed. Perhaps we could set up our basement area on the island of Laguna Bay to have something, maybe a fruit-based theme, something to think about. We're still building that island, so we're taking our time in building it, and as such, we're just going to experiment with some different designs, some different setup than what we have here on this 5-star island, and of course, all with the goal of actually, getting back to that 5-star island status, or at least making the 5-star island status on Laguna Bay. So here we have cherry orchard. Usually I would come over and I would grab all of these fruits with the exception of the orange, because the orange is native to Laguna Bay. But tonight, for the sake of time, I just want to give you a tour of this island. Here we have tons of the purple mums. So that's a great little setup. And what I'll do is I will go visit up here. Nothing really exciting about this. I just turned this into like an office space that kind of sits here on the cliff. Great opportunity to use up some of the office item themed things that we had on the island, or collected across the island. Here we did a Stonehenge, a stone kind of garden type of thing. And now coming back down, we have a small amusement area here. And as we come down the steps here, this right now is kind of overgrown with our black flowers. The girls have quite a bit more work to do here to clear this area out, and once they clear it out, we'll go ahead and set back up what we had last summer, which was an outdoor eating area. So that'll be a great opportunity to bring that back into play, and possibly even come up with a little bit of a slight variation on the design from what we had last summer for that outdoor eating area. All right, so now we're going to come back, just orienting ourselves. We're back to the main resident representative's house, which is Sparkles. So now we're just going to jump our way over to this side over here. And what I'll do is I'll start where it makes sense, kind of at the front of the neighborhood. So this is one of our main neighborhoods. Some of the other villagers' houses are kind of scattered out across the island, but what we have here is a main cluster village setup for the islanders here. So what we have here set up is a outdoor eating area, kind of like a little cafe type of place where the islanders can come in. And then back here we have the main neighborhood. So it looks like we have someone visiting. How are you tonight? Glad to see you, have you by. 3 million bells in exchange for what? I see in the chat there's a question. You want 3 million bells? 3 million bells in exchange for what? All right. So now, I think it's Jajini. I don't want to pronounce your name incorrectly, but I see your offer in the chat for the 3 million bells. Just curious to know, what are you looking for in exchange for this 3 million bells? So here we have Poppy. She's been on our island since last fall. So she's got a few extra things that she's gathered across the time that she's been here, but that is our that is our friend Poppy on our island. Here we have Boone. Hi there, Boone. Boone is when I first set up my island here on Fresh Breeze, I got my two original residents were Hazel and Al. And if you look at some of my previous streams, you'll see the jokes that I had to make about Al. It was interesting. He wouldn't have necessarily been my first choice for a villager, but once Boone came to visit one day, I actually kept working my magic until we got to the point that Al was ready to move out, and so then we were able to replace Al with Boone, which happens to be one of the gorillas that I really think is cute and I really like having Boone on the island. This is one of the first 10 original islanders villagers here. Zell. I really like Zell. I really liked his aesthetic with his house, that urban look and feel with the great black grand piano. So I really did like that, and he was already a pool shark, so I really liked having him on the island. And so now in the neighborhood area here, we also have another bed representing the purple flowers that we have on the island. So we have the hyacinths, the rose, the mum, we have the pansy, we have the tulip, and we have the windflower. So those are some of the hybrids that we've worked on and gotten on our island, and we're very proud of those. Here we just have an area just to sit out. In the wintertime, this was pretty great because the villagers would actually come here and warm their hands up. So now back here is Blair, another squirrel on my island. If you'll notice, the majority of the animals on my island are squirrels. And so now we have Blair here. She lives on our island. There was a point in time when Blair and Static, every time I looked, either Blair was at Static's house or Static was at Blair's house. And I was like, they must have something going on. I don't know what it was, but it was something going on between the two of them. So I'm kind of sad that I don't see them visiting each other so much because, of course, as you're playing the game, you want to imagine that there's some relationships that are being developed and things that are happening. So I'm kind of sad that they don't hang out as much as they used to. But it was really lots of fun in the beginning in the summer when she moved in and when Static came and moved in to watch the two of them have what I was calling a burgeoning affair. So I guess they fell out over time, You know how it goes with these young folks. Anyway, all right, moving on. Here, I think that we have done a pretty exhaustive, taken a pretty exhaustive look at this island. Once again, this is a representation of a 5-star island. There are many 5-star islands out there. If you'll notice, pretty much for this island, it's not really, themed. It's more of just having some pleasing aesthetics around certain parts of the island, as well as having some points of interest in some of the neighborhoods. The one thing about this particular island, when I built it, I have no problem with a lot of the waterfalls and all of these other different things that people have done with the water elements, as well as building the additional cliffs and that sort of thing. But I really wanted to keep this island, and you'll find the same theme is kind of running in the new island that I started in December. which is Laguna Bay that we're going to head back to, and this is where Enchante is from, taking a visit here on Fresh Breeze. But the themes, or at least the design elements around both Fresh Breeze and Laguna Bay kind of stick to maintaining the natural feel of an island. So we have some mountainous areas, but not a lot, and we do have quite a few waterfall elements, but they're just very very strategically placed, and it isn't necessarily the focus of the island. So I hope you enjoyed this extensive tour of Fresh Breeze, an example of a five-star island that just really pretty much used the plain landscape to its advantage in getting that 5-star status. And this island has been 5-star for quite some time. We have quite a few Jacob's Ladders, is what they used to be called, but Lily of the Valleys now, representing that status that we have achieved on multiple occasions here on the island of Fresh Breeze. So we're coming up on about an hour of streaming. So now at this point, we're going to head on back to Laguna Bay, and we're going to take a look at what we have done in Laguna Bay over the past week as part of our 7 days of streaming. We've had quite a few achievements over that time. And so now what we'll do is we'll go back and we'll take a tour of that island. As I mentioned earlier, Laguna Bay is really still just sitting at that 4-star status. Isabel says we need to take some of the raw materials we have and create some more things with it. So we're going to take a look at potentially what are some of the things that we can create with some of the recipes that we have and the natural resources that we have, and continue to add those to the island in an effort to try and bump up its status and have it become a 5-star island. So that is really where our goal is right now. So I am going to take a break. It's the top of the hour. I'm going to take a break for about 2 minutes, and I will be back online very shortly, and we will continue with our taking a look at what we've done over the past week on the island of Laguna Bay. So I'm just going to take a real short break, and I will be back in about 2 and 2, as they used to say. Well, all right. We took a quick break here at the top of the hour, and so now we have made our way back to Laguna Bay, and now we can take some of the things that we picked up at our sister island of Fresh Breeze, and we can begin to go about the process of, oh, here's Tipper. Tipper gave us a gift earlier, so let's talk with Tipper. Hi, how are you today? And you know what? I think because you gave me such a great gift earlier that I am going to actually see if I can. Yes, I can. I'm going to give you a gift of a beautiful pink rose. There you are. There you are. Yes, yes. And she seemed to like that. All right, that's awesome. That's exactly right, Tipper. I thought that it would be a great addition to brighten your home. So I am so glad that you agreed and that you are happy with that choice of a gift to you today. All right, so now just going to go through and do a little bit of cleanup work. I believe, though, that there was something here that I wanted to purchase that I don't have on the island. Yes, I want to purchase this video game. You saw we had a couple of them over sitting beside. Well, maybe you haven't seen that yet, so let me take a tour. Oops, I will take you there so you can see how we're setting up our video arcade pretty much outside. And I think once I get a few more of the video arcades, I think there's 4 or 5 of them, but we will have 3 once I purchase this on this island. So I think once I get that, at least those 3 video arcades, I've also had a chance to grab some of the I think there's a foosball table that I have, as well as a couple of the paddle tennis tables. So I think we will probably take an area on our island, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, and probably just turn it into that fun kind of recreation area. Perhaps there as well we can give it a little bit more of an urban feel by playing around with some of the elements that we would design it with there. So that's really a great idea for looking at a way in which we can continue to incorporate some of the items that we have purchased and some of the items that we have gotten as we shot down balloons and gifts from the residents, as well as building up and using some of our natural resources. And again, the objective here is to make the island aesthetically pleasing, and in the process work towards getting that 5-star. So that really is what we're looking for as the achievement here. All right, so having said that, it looks like we really are in desperate need of some bells. I do know that she has absolutely no bells in her savings because we have been, as I mentioned, really trying to focus on building the island. But before we do that, let's go here. We were looking for some white tulips, so we want to finish planting the white tulips along this row here. So that, oops, that one went too far out. So let's grab this. We want to finish planting white tulips along this row of red tulips, with the goal here of actually producing some pink tulips. So let's finish up this chore here. We're doing pretty good here. So I often say I'm afraid of those tarantulas that come out. But tonight, I think if I'm lucky enough to get away from them, great. If I'm even more lucky enough to catch one, great. But tonight I just can't live in fear on my island. I need to go ahead and do what I need to do and not be so worried about those tarantulas. So this, I believe, is not what we're looking for. This is just another red tulip that spawned from this group. So we have that there. Okay. Alrighty. So now we're going to start down the chore of watering those. We didn't have any rain today, so we want to water our seedlings and our baby white tulips that are coming up. So again, part of this is all part of maintenance, maintaining the island and keeping it up, and actually working towards our goal of that 5-star island. So here we are. Just taking a moment to do a mic check. I want to make sure that we do have sound. So give me just a moment, bear with me on that. Alright, so it looks like we do have the sound. Great. Alrighty. So I think the only adjustment I probably need to make is to have my mic be a little bit closer so that you hear my talking a little bit better. So I think that did it. Just an adjustment of the mic. And so now we're going to go back to enjoying the game. Alright, we're almost done with watering this row or this flower bed of flowers. Goal again, make pink tulips. So we are done with the watering there. And here I think we actually are ending up with more of the orange tulips than we actually have space left to manage. So I won't do this on camera tonight, but what I will do is begin to take, oh boy, I hate when I do that. What we'll begin to do is take out these orange tulips, possibly replace them with a different species of flowers. Actually, I don't think we'll replace them with a different species of flowers just yet. We might take some of the purple tulips that we have here, create a bed with the purple tulips, create a bed with some other flowers in between. Yeah, we'll take a little bit of time and do some work in getting some additional hybrid colors growing on our island. So that's exactly what we'll do. All right, so now let's go into Blathers here and see about selling him some of the items that we picked up while we were on Fresh Breeze. I don't believe we'll have anything to make a donation, right? Nope. So he has everything that we have. Alright, so now let's take a look at the fossils themselves and see if our haul from Fresh Breeze actually brings us some new items to add to our collection of fossils here, in our museum. Let's see. So we already have these fossils, so that's great. We're trying to make the money. We want to actually pick up the video arcade game. So we want to go ahead and see if we can make money and try to figure out how much we can make. And if we don't aren't able to make enough, then we will need to actually have a visit from one of our sisters from Fresh Breeze to come in and help us out. So here, I'm going to drop some more turnips. Just have this set up here as an outside space to hold these. Drop item. So what do we have back behind that? I think we can, for now, we're going to remove, well, actually, sorry, let me put this, I'm going to put the ironwood card back. And I can put some turnips on top of it. There we go. And I don't have anywhere else that I can stick turnips, I don't think. So it's 5, a set of 5 that we have. All right, we'll remove the tile library for now. And we will put turnips here. And I'll put a turnip there. It's unfortunate we really don't have any way to store the turnips. I guess in our storage, but I guess if they did that, then there would be people who would just hoard a bunch of them just looking for a big payday, and I guess it would violate rules. I don't think it would. I mean, if that's how people choose to spend their time playing the game, I think it's perfectly fine as far as I'm concerned. This is a game, of course, that we take and we make to be our own, and we should have that particular latitude and freedom without restriction. But as I said, we don't always get that type of thing, and we abide by the rules of the game. So there we are. Alrighty, so I'll just place those there for the time being. Alright, now we have our fossils assessed. I believe we have planted all of the tulips that we want to plant right now. So let's start to get ourselves organized so we can know what it is we're going to sell, what it is we're going to keep, or at least put away in storage. Alright, so let's go find out about that music, that piece of music there, and see if it belongs. Okay. And we know at some point we're going to put those back in. Alright, so let's see if this music. Oh, what do you got? Oh, she's going to give me something. I'm going to tell you she's going to give me something that I don't want. Oh no, she doesn't like calling me sweetie. What? Well, what do you propose to call yourself? What do you propose to call me? I like sweetie. I'm sorry. So guess what? Should I come? What do you think? Should I come up with a new one? Are you going to come up with a new one? Let's see what you comes up with. Well, oh, she said she was going to come up with a new one, and now she's expecting me to do it. You know what? I'm going to call what I was a sucker for that one. So that's what's going to become my new nickname from her. No. I'll do something that is, I believe, even more funny. Fooled you. Fooled you. Okay, let's do a space. And we'll say fooled you, because she sure did fool me into thinking it wasn't. No. Okay, so I forgot the other part that I needed on here. So let me get this right. O-N-E-D and D and space Y A. There we are. Fooled you. I think that's appropriate given how I got suckered into thinking she was going to make a new nickname for me when I was perfectly fine with the one that she had. All right. So there we are. Yeah, that's going to be really appropriate. A lot of times you're going to run up on me, you're going to try to give me something and fooled you is really going to be pretty funny. I think there's going to be plenty of occasions when she's going to say at the end of a sentence, and it's going to be quite appropriate for what has happened. All right. Okay, so now, sorry for yawning. It's been a long day. So now we're going to go in and we're going to see. Let's talk to Sable. Okay, all right. So I think we've talked to Sable as many times as we can. So we have gotten from her what she's going to give us. All right, so now let's go in here and let's see what we have here. We got some cafe uniforms, some shorts. What do we look with a pair of shorts on with this? I'm not feeling it. Let's see. We have some of the dresses already, so. Ooh, hold up. Let me see what I can find in these that I might like. Don't even try the purple ones. Oh, you know what? Don't have enough bells, so we're not gonna try anything. We're gonna keep going. All right. So now that we've done that, let's see. We're pretty much all right. Let's go take a walk out here. Go over to the excuse me. Over to here. Let's make a sound. And I want to sell this and this and this and this and this and this. I think that's good. Confirm that. Ooh, 16,200 bells. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So that's helping us quite a bit. All right. So next, we are gonna go and what do we have here? We want to get some of this stuff up. We want to go here. I'm going to grab this and this and this. I'm going to grab up these things here. And then I want to go see, can I do something with that lattice fence? Alright, so what do we have in here? Hamlet is an original villager that moved in with us. Oh, Hammy's in here making something. What you making, Hammy? Oh, I already know how to make a simple DIY workbench, so. Oh well. Nothing new here. Exactly. I don't remember. It's been so long ago. I don't remember when I learned to make it. So there you go. Hi, Smelly Jelly. How are you? Sorry, it's taking me a long time to get back to the chat. And it's just because my mouse has a tendency to go to sleep when I don't use it. So hi there, welcome to Laguna Bay. How are you tonight? Yes, it does. I really enjoy playing this game. I started recently streaming it here on Twitch. I've been playing for over a year now. I think the game came out last year around this time, and I've been playing ever since it came out. And it really, not only does it give good vibes, it's also helped me quite a bit with my mental state of mind, just dealing with all of the things that have been going on in the world that have been pretty mad crazy. So it really is a feel good game, and it definitely gives good vibes. How long have you been playing? Is Animal Crossing your first? Is this New Horizons your first game, or are you have you been a part of the community for quite some time? Alrighty. So now we have that. We've gone in. Hammy gave us something we didn't need. What is this right here? Orange end table. So we're going to sell that as well. So as I said, our goal right now is we're trying to. Oh, I have to agree with you. Okay, okay. My kids used to play the older games, and that's how I was introduced to the franchise. Now I'm independently. I started with Pocket Camp, and then when it came out last year. And I agree. I have to agree with you 100%. This game is better than my therapy. When you're in therapy, they actually, make you think about hard things. This game allows me to just enjoy myself and have lots of fun without having to take that deeper dive. Goodness. I definitely agree with you on that. All right, let's see. We're going to put away our tulip bags. We've already we've already planted the tulips that we wanted to plant. So we can put this away since we're now wearing that bamboo lattice fence. I want to try that lattice fence out in an area that I am decorating in the back of the island up in the mountains and kind of see how it goes. So let's see here. Let's grab these fossils. Again, our goal tonight, normally our goal is to make 100K. Our goal tonight is to make as much money as we need to make before 10 p.m. so that we can actually purchase the arcade game, because there's an arcade game that's sitting in our Nook's Cranny that we would like to purchase. So let's see what we can do. See how much we get for these fossils. Always hoping for a new fossil to add to our collection, but if we don't get it, we will gladly sell it. So, Smelly Jelly, I'm just curious, do you stream your gameplay? And is Animal Crossing the only game that you stream, or do you stream other games as well? As I said, Animal Crossing, I'm kind of new to the whole entire using the console type of thing. So Animal Crossing is the primary game that I'll be streaming, but I'm also picking up, quite a bit of other games as well. So let me see. You started playing on your phone and saving up money for this game. The thing I like is that they listen to the fans. Oh, well, I will tell you. Yes, I do agree. Your first point, I do agree that they started listening to the fans. I was super excited with the March 18th update because on that update, we finally got more slots in order to be able to save more of the custom designs that some of the designers have made on the internet. I am not a designer. I always have to go out and search and see other things. Other people's works, and I really do like to download them and use them to help personalize my island somewhat. And as far as streaming, I really did not start streaming until maybe around late December, early January. Did a couple of streams, but I've just started picking up over the last few weeks with getting going with the streaming. I was fortunate enough to have one of my daughters who knew how to set up OBS because I actually use OBS to produce my streams and hook it up with Twitch. And she showed me how to do that, and I got kind of set up with it. So definitely, it can be done. If you want, I could probably send you a few tips about getting set up to start streaming. I find it to be quite fun and enjoyable. I figure since I'm going to play the game anyway, and I played it almost every day, sometimes twice a day, I'm ashamed to say, or more. So I figured if I was doing it, why not share the joy, share the love with others, and where I can, if I can help, then that would be great. But like I said, there's a couple of tutorials that are available. Maybe I can send you something after this stream to kind of get you going and get started. Would you be interested in that? Okay. And also, I forgot that as well as I was typing out to you in the chat. About maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I attended a free course that the library had that was about, setting up your streaming with Twitch. I'll look and see. I believe the gentleman did record that session. And if I can find it, I will definitely post a link to it, and it might not be in tonight's chat, but it'll be in a chat. Hopefully, I'm planning to chat tomorrow, starting around 7 p.m. And I'll post it there. And if possible, I'll look and see if I can send you either a direct message or a whisper that kind of that gives you the information about that session. As I said, I learned a lot from my daughter, and he just really reinforced it. All of the things that he was talking about were spot on from what I had learned from my daughter about setting up OBS and working with Twitch and setting up a stream. So he was on point. He talked about starting with the low cost equipment and then moving on. He talked about the more expensive equipment, but I tell you, my mic is like, I think it was $15-20. I bought a little game card, capture card that was under 50. I think the most expensive thing I paid for was probably the camera with the ring light. But even then, you can probably get one of those from Five Below if Five Below is in your area. And you can get started. I mean, my whole entire setup, getting started was maybe 150 bucks. And it was just one of those things. I was like, it's something new. I'm going to experiment with it. I'm going to see how it goes. And, along the way, I really do want to build a community and have some people that while I'm streaming, we can have some conversations and talk about some stuff. So that's really what I'm looking for. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Um, Oh, thank you for following me. I definitely will follow you as well. And like I said, it doesn't cost a lot of money. A free course that I attended, a free class, just talking to some people, getting some information on how to do it. And then, like I said, you don't have to have a microphone. You don't have to have a special camera. You could use the camera on your laptop or the camera on your phone, and you can also use your phone for to capture your audio. I have two daughters. One of them actually does that. She just uses what she has, her iPhone, and she connected to OBS, and she does it for streaming. So you're absolutely right. You don't have to have a lot of money to get started. I think the biggest challenge for a lot of people is finding the time, and then after you find the time, for me, it was overcoming the shyness. I mean, I had an awfully hard time looking at myself originally when I started. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm looking at myself. Here I am on camera and I see myself. But after I kept doing it for a while and attending, just different types of things that where, I would end up being on camera, and then I started doing this here. Now I'm comfortable with myself on camera. Then the next thing for me was getting comfortable to hearing the sound of my voice. And once I got comfortable with hearing the sound of my voice, comfortable of, what I look like on camera, from there, I really, I guess the shyness is kind of going away. And I really am starting to enjoy it. So very happy to have you as a follower. And thanks so much. You're right on point. You don't need a lot to get started. And like I said, for me, the biggest barriers were just getting over myself, getting over the fear of seeing myself on screen or not liking what I saw when I was on screen, and then the sound of my voice. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead here. I don't have anything to offer him that's new among those fossils. So, that being the case, again, tonight the goal is to make that money, make those bells, and so that's going to take us quite a long way. We have quite a few pretty expensive ones, so let's go sell some of those and see how much closer we get to our goal in order to get that. Sorry, Gwen. Didn't mean to push you out of the way, but I'm on a mission. Oh boy. All right, Smelly. I'm going to tell you right now. I am terrified of the tarantulas and the scorpions. And as you saw, there was one running, and I have no idea where it went. It's probably going in the same direction that I was trying to go to get into the next cranny. But like I said, I usually don't like playing after 7 o'clock, but I purposely for the last week or so made myself play after 7 so that I would either scream when I saw one, or I would avoid it, or I would just be like, you know what, just be careful, because one of those tarantulas is going to be out there, looking and waiting on you. So that was, I know. And believe it or not, the tarantula is less scary to me because I did manage to catch one. This is my second island that I've started. So I did manage to catch one on my first island, but that was after I'd gone to a mystery island, and they just showed up out of the blue, and they kept biting me, and I kept landing up on the pier until eventually I had my net out and I was fast enough to catch one. But the scorpion, while the tarantula is scary, the scorpion terrifies me. And I agree with you. The scorpion, I have nightmares every time I see one. I'm like, oh my God, that night I'm like dreaming. I'm like, why am I dreaming about scorpions? And the reason I was dreaming about it is because I was busy either running from one, or I was bitten by one. So the scorpions, I think I will never complete my Critopedia because I am too chicken hearted to catch one of those scorpions. So, because they are super fast. I mean, the tarantulas are fast, but the scorpion, they are super fast. All right, so let's see what this gives us. 27,000. And I believe, all right, so now we're at 45,000, and I believe the cost of this arcade that I'm trying to get here is 64. So we are on our way. Just need to do a couple more things. I wish I had a money tree because that 30K would take me right over where I needed to go. Yes. And I'm so upset that um, yeah, they are very terrifying. And you're right. I'm more scared of them in the game than I think I would be in real life. All right. So, speaking of that, let's where were we? We were in the process of trying to see what more we could do to get that money. We're trying to get to the 65,000 bells. And I believe there were some more items. Or did I get them all? I didn't think I had picked them all up, but obviously I did. Okay. So let me go here inside of the house and grab the rest of these things. All right. So let's grab this. We can sell that. All right. I think that's all that I have that I'm going to be able to sell right now. But let me double check, make sure I don't have anything. Oh. And try attempt to sell some of those and see how that works. And is he outside my door? Sometimes he's standing right outside of my door waiting on me. Either a scorpion or a tarantula. It's like, seriously. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes, it is. F you. I don't see them as much. Yes. and I'll just share a trick with you. Just a trick I learned is that if you don't have your net out when you come across one, then they will normally run in the other direction, unless you are just directly in their path. So that was really a trick that I learned playing the game is, and really it was a tip I got from someone who's been playing the game for quite some time. And they were like, you know, I was like, every time I'd be out at night and I get bitten by either a scorpion or a tarantula, and they were like, well, the best thing to do is just never have your net out while you're running around. And then that way, if you see one and they see you, they typically will take off in the opposite direction. You kind of saw that happen tonight where I was going one way and the tarantula started taking off in the opposite direction. But anytime you take that net out, if you're going to take it out, you got to be really, really fast. Or if you have it out, the best thing to do is try to sneak up behind them. I have found I cannot sneak up behind the scorpion. But I think that when I caught the tarantula, I was fortunate enough to be able to sneak up behind him and actually get him. So just some of the tidbits from what I kind of learned in playing the game over the past year or so. All right, it's a good thing when he says he has these fossils, because that means we can add just a little bit more money to what we have. And I know another way I could make some money is actually go and shake trees and shake out one of the wasps. I have about a 80% chance rate on those of catching them. Usually if I don't catch it, it's because I'm actually standing in a bad direction near the tree or in front of the tree when I shake it, or don't have a net ready, and there you go. Not thinking and just shake it, and all of a sudden one comes flying out. All right, so I am going to, here's Coco. Hey Coco, how are you? All right. So Coco is a very recent addition to my island as well. How about if they just add some bug repellent? You know, you just spray them with the bug repellent. Maybe that will maybe that'll give us the same effect as the gun, but maybe just a little less violent, maybe. So that might work. Can I buy some bug spray, you know, or a bug bomb or something I can throw at them? That would be pretty cool. Hey Pate, how are you? Hey. I did. I want to buy the arcade game, but I don't have any money. I'm kind of like you all, showing up at the Nook's Cranny broke, asking for bells. Oh boy. All right. So we're at 55. Okay. All right. So we needed 65, I think it was. Okay. All right. What else can we do? Oh, that's what we can do. We can find out what the palm tree lamp and a shell speaker. Whew. Palm tree lamp. What's required to build a palm tree lamp? I am fortunate enough to have that recipe card. Let's see here. If it's just a bunch of lovely coconuts, I am going to be in luck. So let's see what we got here. Yes, I need 4 coconuts. So it looks like with this, with what I have, I can build 2 of them at least. All right, so let's go find some coconuts and build a couple of those and see what that gets us in exchange. How many is that again? It says I need 4 coconuts, so I need a total of 8 coconuts. All right. So you're asking what other games I play. I don't know if you were on stream earlier, but the story about me is I really did not start playing video games on a console until last year this time. So the primary game I learned how to play and move around and maneuver around in here was Animal Crossing. Since that time, I've started playing Mario. I've never, I mean, as old as I am, I never played Mario before, so I have a Mario game. I have Mario U, I think it's the one I have. So I started playing that one. Luigi's Mansion is another one that I play. I do like the crime drama type games, so I have played a couple of those through to the end. And then there's a game called The Room, which is like it's one of those puzzle box games where you have to find all of the secret pieces or parts or a different way to turn a knob or something of that nature. So I played that quite a bit and I really have enjoyed that game. It's called The Room. And then I was fortunate enough to get a PS5. And so on that system, I play another game that's kind of similar to Animal Crossing, but just a little bit more fun. It's like a platformer, so it's probably more close to the Mario Brothers type games. It's called Sackboy. So I play Sackboy's Big Adventure on the PlayStation 5. And on the Switch, I also play a little bit of Stardew Valley. I like farming games. I used to play the video games on like my phone or my iPad, and typically I gravitated towards those farming type games or either hidden object type games, which is why The Room is kind of cool because it's kind of a hidden objects type game. So I tended to gravitate towards those as well. So now you've heard a little bit about the games that I like to play. So what are some other games that you play? Because I'm always on the lookout for, something new to explore or try out on the gaming systems. Oh, there's Wisp. Oh boy. We'll probably see a couple of more tarantulas now that I have to go find Wisp pieces. That does require you to have a net. Pretty funny. So I'm just going to type in here. So I play a little bit of Mario Brothers, Sackboy, The Room, Luigi's Mansion, Stardew Valley, Gris. I recently started playing Gris, and okay. Okay, yeah. The story around the PlayStation 5, the only way I got one was for about 3 or 4 weeks. It was almost a 24-hour 7-day-a-week job. It was a part-time job after work, sometimes during work. I knew when they were going to do a drop. I was following a lot of the guys on YouTube or Twitter, and that's how I got it. It was so funny. It was like I didn't necessarily need to have it, but it became an obsession. It was just the fact that there were. It wasn't so much about them being hard to get, but at some point I had invested so much time into trying to get one until I was like, I have got to get one. I have got to get one. So true story. My birthday is in December, and it was actually the day of my birthday that they did a drop, and I was able to get it from Target. So it was a great birthday gift. So that's how that came about. So again, it was a labor of love, sometimes hate, because you were in the line and you were about to get one, and then all of a sudden the Walmart site starts crashing, or the Target site, you couldn't order it because they weren't able to accept the payments, or Best Buy was constantly going in and out, and every time you hit the button you think you were in the queue. And then PlayStation, I went to the Sony queues. That was always a horror show. I could use a different word, but I want to keep this family friendly. Because you'd sit there and you'd wait, you'd get online, they'd say you were in queue, and then you after you sat there for an hour, all of a sudden the thing would come up and say, no more available for today. And so it was like infuriating dealing with them. Never saw Amazon drop it, so I don't know. I heard that Amazon is supposed to be dropping, I don't know, some god awful large number that somebody quoted. I think it was 2 or 3 days ago. They were supposed to be dropping it in the next couple of days, but I'm not sure if they really did drop it or not. It was one of those things where, you know, at some point I was just like, I'm just gonna not not follow this anymore, because it was kind of, traumatic. I had PTSD every time I went to a site and I saw people saying, I almost got one, because I remember that. There was a big fiasco with the Kohl's. Kohl's came out, said they had a whole bunch of them. Whole lot of us, purchased it at Kohl's. Everything went through. It said we had an order number, all of that. And then come to find out they may have had, I don't know, somebody said 5,000, and it was 100,000 or some number of people who had tried to place orders, and of course they couldn't fulfill the orders. And so imagine that PR nightmare for them. But I guess it really wasn't, because people ended up making, a Target, I'm sorry, a Kohl's account, and now I get Kohl's emails all the time about stuff that they're trying to sell. So I guess from a marketing standpoint, it worked for them, but it really kind of let me down. I really don't care for Kohl's too much as a retailer. And then there were a couple of other small niche companies that did the same thing. They were saying, oh, we got PlayStation 5s going on sale, and they're going to be going on sale tomorrow at 8 o'clock or whatever the time was. And then you got there, and of course you couldn't get any. They were sold out in seconds. And the reason they were sold out in seconds was because they only had a handful of them to offer, but they got all of these people hyped up to sign up for their site, and now they market, send a bunch of junk to you all the time. But that, the whole thing with the PlayStation in particular was kind of, it was kind of, crappy how it all went down. But in any case or event, I wish you luck if you're trying to get one. I wish you luck in being able to get it soon, and hopefully, there'll be enough supply so that people won't have to continue to go through all those challenges just trying to get that game system. Is somebody talking to me? Oh, yeah, he's over there. Okay. I'm not going to pay Eric any attention, because I'm pretty sure he's going to give me some piece of clothing that I don't want. That's typically what they do. They'll walk around like they're thinking about something really deep. See, he's still over there. He let's try him out. Let's try him out. I can almost guarantee you that he's going to give me a piece of clothing that I don't want. A wrestling singlet or something crazy. Uh-huh. he found that thing I was looking for. What I tell you? A rainbow sweater. Unfortunately, I've started the conversation, so it doesn't matter what I say. I'm gonna still end up with this rainbow sweater. So I'm gonna just have to suck it up and take it and keep going. Oh yeah, if you can find one on in person, that's great. I will say to you, I'm just gonna give you a little bit of advice. I would not try to buy one off of eBay. They were trying to charge double, sometimes triple, even more for the game system. And considering that right now, there aren't very many titles that are exclusive to the PlayStation 5 that are available, it really doesn't justify paying the extra cost to get a PlayStation 5. So I would just wait. I wouldn't even, I would, like you said, I wouldn't spend 8 hours trying to chase one. Me, I just did it because it just became an obsession. And like I said, it was a love-hate relationship doing it. And along the way, I will say that I did meet some additional streamers on YouTube and some that were on Twitch who and Twitter who were talking about the PlayStation 5. So from them, I got some tips on how to really have hopefully an engaging type of stream with some engaging conversation. But it really was another way for me to meet people. So it did serve a couple of purposes for me, but I wouldn't buy one from eBay. I don't recommend it. And right now, because they're going to become more and more available, I would just check every now and again and see, does one of the big box stores have it, like a Best Buy. Best Buy, you could only go pick it up anyway. You could order it online, but you had to go pick it up at the store. And I believe now, from what I have heard, I don't know how true this is, but I have heard that Walmart is now, you can walk in the store and purchase it if they have them. And I believe the same may very well be true for Target. So you're right. You don't have to spend online doing it. You could just check the inventory at your nearest store. And if they have walk-in, you could just get it walk-in, or you could, order it. And then when you get there, you're guaranteed that you have it because it's just a matter of going and picking it up. But definitely the excessive costs that people are charging for it on eBay and other sites where they were selling them, because there was even another site where they had people selling them at expensive prices. I just, considering what's available on it to play right now, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't pay the extra. But again, that's just my 2 cents. And I always say to people, do what makes you happy. Kind of like, what Leaf tells you when you buy stuff from her. Do what makes you happy. So, again, it's just my thoughts and opinion. Definitely not any direction. Everybody does what makes them happy, and I think that's the important thing. All right, so let's see how much we get for these hot items. Yeah, I tell you something else that was going on while there was this big push to try and purchase the PlayStation 5s. One of the things that Target used to do, Target would say they had one in the store. Best Buy would say they had one in the store, and it was really the display. So, yeah, I get what you're saying about them having the one on display and won't sell it. But Walmart's not the only one who's guilty of that. Several of the big box stores are guilty of it. You get there and, or at least I heard stories about people getting there. They had one in stock, and I ran to the store and I got there and it was a display and they wouldn't sell it to me. So that is not an uncommon experience that quite a few people have experienced during this time frame. All right, I think, let's see where we are. Almost there. Ooh, we got enough. Oh, we got enough. Cool. All right, so let's go and make. Oh, sorry, Pete. Sorry, you're in the way. Got to get out of my way. I'm trying to make a purchase. All right, so we have enough, and now we're going to purchase this. Oh, don't worry about typing fast. I gosh, I work on computers for a living, so I type very, very quickly, and oftentimes I'll miss a letter or miss something. The absolute worst is to be thinking one thing and thinking you're typing one word, and of course it's never going to be checked by spell check because it is a word, and then you realize after you've sent an email or you've texted somebody or you've chatted, oh, that wasn't a word I meant to use, and then you got to spend a few moments just trying to get people back to understanding that that's not what I meant. It was a typo, but anyway, we call it what they call it, Freudian slip. I think sometimes we have that happen to us when we are actually typing, especially when we type really fast. Yes, I went from rich to poor. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I really did. And I'm gonna get poorer now because I'm too lazy to go make a net, so I'm gonna just buy one. That's an expensive net, 2,500 bells. When you consider the raw materials need to make it, it's not that hard. But I'm just too being a bit too lazy right now to do that. Hi, Vanessa. Welcome. Welcome. So we're here tonight just doing some casual gameplay, just a little bit of conversations, talking about a little bit of everything. Not just gameplay, but some things about other activities as well. Our latest conversation was about trying to get that PlayStation 5 and the trouble it took for those who were vigilant at it. I don't call it vigilance. Obsessed. I was obsessed. So once you get that achievement, at least that obsession went away, and I could start spending my life concentrating on something else rather than sitting in a whole bunch of streams and YouTube, looking at YouTube videos and tweets about who's going to be selling it and at what time, and it was a mess, but well worth the reward. The few games that are on it, they are pretty fun to play. Like I said, I really enjoy playing Sackboy. I don't play too much of the bloody, gory, horror type of games. I have a couple that I'm going to try. I probably will never stream them, particularly if the violence is a little bit disturbing. The community that I'm attempting to build, playing games, I want it to be as family friendly as possible. I do. Oh, he wants this rainbow sweater. Wait. Hold on. Sorry. I got to sell this rainbow sweater that one of my villagers just gave me that I really didn't want or need. Oh, wow. And I'll get a fairy tale dress in exchange. Oh, that's nice. That's a good exchange. So, and Vanessa, also thank you for following me. After I am finished with my stream tonight, I'll look you up, and I definitely will reciprocate. Love to follow those who follow me, and it really is. Hopefully, you'll find the streams enjoyable. Just looking to build a sense of community, a place where you can come and just hang out. We just chill. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. We just chill and share, our thoughts on our adventures while playing the games, some things about life, that sort of thing. So just a very chill environment that I'm trying to build here. Not competitive in any way. My only goals are I've been working on this island since December. I have it up to a 4-star island. So I've just been working to get it to a 5-star island. And if there's any competitiveness for me, it's really around just the personal achievement, filling up the Critipedia, that kind of stuff like that. So welcome aboard. Oh, great, great. Yes, yes, it is fun to watch others. Excuse me. I had set a goal for myself to stream for 7 nights in a row. I know I can't keep up that streaming every night for 7 nights, but it was really just a goal I had set for myself this month. And tonight is my 7th night, and I've achieved that goal. I will be updating my schedule, and I have found over this past week, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed meeting new people. Really enjoyed visiting others' islands when they were up streaming, and definitely it really has turned out to be very enjoyable. I knew it would be, but I had no idea it would be this enjoyable. And thank you about the island. I think we have. I'm so sorry. I have caught something caught in my throat. Let me grab a drink. I'm just gonna mute my mic for a second here. See, can I clear my throat, and then I will be right back on. But just give me just a moment here. Try and drink some water and clear. All right, I'm back. Vanessa, thank you so much for the compliment on the island. I think you're new to my channel as well as Smelly Jelly. So in a few moments, I can start that now. I've achieved the goal that I was trying to achieve to actually get the arcade game. So I'm going to go and place the arcade game over near one of my villagers' houses. And if you would like, just let me know if you'd like. I'll take you for a tour on the island, give you a little bit of my thought process around some of the inspiration for some of the things that I've built on the island. So if you're interested in that, just let me know and I will be happy to do it. All right, so we can't go inside of Kyle's house, but this is Kyle. He's one of my villagers. Kyle is a rocker, so he's got a bunch of he's got guitars, drums in his house, and so I thought a rocker would probably also enjoy playing video games. So I'm kind of setting up a little video game session outside of his house. And when you come down the beach here, since he likes to rock out, I set up a little concert venue type of area here, put a few chairs for the villagers. So the concept here is, we can have a concert along the beach, and it's right next to Kyle's house. So if he ever gets tired of playing in the house, he can come outside and actually play there. So this is Kyle's house. So just to kind of orient you a little bit, I don't have my map up, but I will just take you on the tour. I'm just going to go back to what you would see if you were to come into my island from the airport. All right, so this is our airport here. So when you come to the island, one of the things that I really, as I said, this is the second island I built. So one of the things that I really wanted was to be able to have my resident services where it was offset quite a distance from the airport. The first island that I built, called Fresh Breeze, the resident services is right near the front, right near the airport. So this one, I kind of got that set up. That was one of the reasons why I picked this particular island layout. So what that did for me is it gave me an opportunity to be able to do quite a few things on the front of my island that were a little bit different. From what I had on my original island. Smelly. What happened was we were talking a little bit about Kyle and his house, and he's a rocker. So there's a concert area right outside of his house. But what I'm doing at this point, since I see quite a few new faces joining us on the chat tonight, what I'm doing is just giving you a quick tour of the island, so you can kind of see what we have set up, and I can kind of explain some of the aesthetics that I have here. So coming in from the airport, if you go to the left, I had to remember which right or left, you'll see here where I've set up a small neighborhood. And what this neighborhood represents is this is Enchanté's house. So she's in the middle. And next to her were the two original villagers who came with her on the island. So they kind of paired up together, and I made a little neighborhood here for them. So the original villagers were Hamlet. We've met Hamlet before. He's a jock villager. And my sisterly villager was Sherry. About at the beginning of the week, Raymond showed up on my island as a visitor, and I did not have any of the new villagers that came out with Animal Crossing New Horizon. So as soon as I saw Raymond, I asked him to come to the island, and the person that he chose to kick out, and of course I could have done a few tricks and kicked out somebody else, but the person he chose to kick out was Sherry, and that was okay with me because although Sherry was an original villager with me, and the concept was to keep the original villagers in this neighborhood, the idea of having Raymond was great. And Sherry and I had become best friends to the point where she had given me one of her pictures, a portrait of her. And so she's the first villager in the year or so that I've been playing the game that I had really achieved that with from a friendship perspective. So Sherry is always going to be with us. When you go inside of Enchanté's house, you will see the picture of Sherry sitting on the back wall as you come in. So she's always going to be a part of us. But in an effort to get one of the new villagers, I gave up Sherry's house to Raymond. The plot of land to Raymond, and it really worked out because Raymond is one of the new villagers, and as a result he's ending up in that neighborhood, that front neighborhood that I have there. So he's there. So let's take a look and see what, thank you, Vanessa. Let's take a look and see what Raymond is doing. He's not doing anything but staring at the wall. But anyway, I had been, super excited. I know some friends who got, I believe it was Renee, was one of the newest villagers. And Raymond, I always wanted Raymond as a cat villager. And so, like I said, when he showed up, it was perfect. So he likes how I've dressed. That's pretty cool. So of course this is Raymond's house. Super excited to have Raymond here. All right, so now let's go. So this is my main neighborhood. I just built some areas for them to sit out and enjoy themselves. So going back here, when we go around the back of our main residence on the front, we have flower beds. So the story behind the flower beds here, you see these oranges, all of these are special oranges that will produce blues. So there's, I believe, a 25% chance that these will produce blues. It took me about a month to get my first blue rose from some very specific steps that I followed from one of the Animal Crossing players on YouTube. It's very true what he said. Following his pattern, in less time than you could imagine, I had the blue roses. I've played on my other island for a year, over a year. I still have not gotten blue roses. I have every other hybrid except for the blue rose. So my goal when I started this island was to start out by getting that blue rose because I knew how difficult it was to get. So yeah, yeah, yeah. It takes a long time, but really the process that this guy laid out helped me to get those blue roses in relative short order, and I didn't have to time skip or do any of those other things. And also, I think it helped too because on my original island, I have two villagers. I'm sorry, two resident representatives, and what I ended up doing is I would have them come over every day and water the flowers as well. So anybody who knows anything about mechanics of the game, the more people that you can get to come over and water your flowers in addition to yourself watering them, the faster you'll get towards getting those hybrids. But it really was about just following his methodology, and it really worked out very well. So I also followed his methodology to get the purple tulips. I got those in about a week. So that methodology was pretty cool that he gave for that one as well. So now that I have the blue roses, the purple tulips, I've laid out these beds here. My goal here is to get the pink tulip, another one that it seems fairly simple to grow, but it really isn't. It really is kind of hard to get the pink tulip. On my other island, I think I might have maybe two pink tulips. So I'm going to work here and see can I get some more of the pink tulips for this island. So this is the side that's opposite of the neighborhood that I have as part of the shopping district is what I call this area over here that's next to resident services. I just set up some huge flower beds kind of to give a little bit of a nice vibe when you come onto the island. And then here we have some booths set up. Typically here what I'll do is I'll set up some things that are going to be relevant to some of the holidays or events that are going to be happening during the month. Kind of a space there outside of Nook's Cranny. So Nook's Cranny is here. We've seen that. And right next to Nook's Cranny, I have the Able Sisters. So this is pretty much the front of my island. I did a few things here. I made a couple of waterfalls here in front of the resident services, set up a couple of seating areas near it. Just really laid this out to make the area around the resident services be pretty relaxing, a place where the villagers could come and relax. So that's the front part of my island here on this side. And so now what I'll do is I will take you on a tour of the portion of my island where I have a much larger neighborhood, which is back in this area right here. So here what I've done is I've set up a neighborhood with 4 villagers who live here. So the villagers I have are, this is Tipper's house. Hey Coco. I always speak to them when I see them. Just trying to build that friendship because after I built the friendship with Sherry, it got really fun to see how talking to them really does work. So that's, this is Tipper's house right here. This is Pietro's house. Pietro is a clown sheep, I believe, is what he is. And this is, I just visited him earlier. Oops, didn't mean to turn that off. This is Pate's house. I think you saw Pate earlier. Pate is a duck villager. And this is, go here, see real quick. This is Dottie's house. So Dottie was on my original island of Fresh Breeze. She left, and it was really nice to see her, be able to get her to come back on this island. So that was pretty cool. And right outside of this neighborhood, we actually can go up. And this is more of a rustic area. I have a log cabin here. That's where Eric lives. And here is where I have a small garden with some of the pumpkins, little area to sit here and relax. I still have a little bit more decorating that I want to do here, but this is pretty much going to be like a picnic area kind of outside of his house, in part of this foresty, more rustic feel. So that's what we have there. And I have a lot more space here where I'm hoping to be able to build like a park-like setting. That's why I was hoping so hard to get that iron bench, not the iron wood bench, but the iron bench, because I would love to take that and use it along with some ground cover from some of the designers and actually build this out to be a park area that kind of sits right outside of Eric's house. So then we come up to what I am billing as a resort type of area. And here I have built a pool area. I've created a pool, set this out here. I was going to put a jacuzzi out there, but I just thought the pool itself just looked better and added to the aesthetic quite a bit. And so I did tonight when I went to visit the sister island, we did have some poolside beds. So for right now, I probably will come and do a little bit more work on that. But for right now, I'm just going to lay a couple of the pool beds out. And then probably tomorrow night, I will come back and see if it makes sense for those pool beds to be where I just put them. So I put a couple of pool beds there. So my goal there is to have some areas for relaxing. I may end up actually moving the hammock to another space and setting a pool bed there as well. So here, just to share with you, these are the iron bars that we built. And I was watching some tips from another player where they actually set the bars on a level 1 lower to create a fence kind of thing. Yeah, it does. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I thought too, that putting the pool there, Vanessa, I thought so as well. I thought that putting the pool there kind of give it more of that spa jacuzzi type of feel. So I was satisfied with that versus using that jacuzzi itself. But as I was saying here, and thank you so much. Thank you so much about this area. And also, yes, the garden bench, I want to get it so bad. It's like one of those things that I really want and have not been able to get it yet. But as I was saying here, these are iron bars that I set on a level lower. That gave me the sense of a fence around the pool. And I thought that was a really great idea that I picked up. I hate these inflatable beds, but when you're laying on it, when you have a villager laying on it or you lay on it, it actually looks like it's a float that's floating in the pool. So that's the only time I've ever found a use for the inflatable sofa because otherwise I just think that they're, a total waste. So anyway, coming off of this resort type retreat type pool area, we have a couple of places here where we have food, where we can do food prep. And right over here, I created a lookout point, kind of where you could come and sit, you could write, or you could read, or you could eat. And here is where I also set up a couple of stands that could serve as eateries. And so right now I have bamboo shoots here. What I was able to do from my other island was actually get a shaved ice maker. So what I'm going to do is put that there. So that kind of makes sense. You're getting your coconut drink and your shaved ice from the shaved ice maker. So that fills that out. Loved the event where we had that we had for Mardi Gras. I can never remember that NPC player's name, but the event we had for Mardi Gras, these are some of the stalls that were available with the recipe cards, and as well as these lightings, and we could make them multiple colors. And I really wanted to make an area that was kind of blue and white. thinking that blue and white was just very relaxing, particularly if we were talking about this being a relaxing lookout point. And of course, I had started to grow blue roses naturally, because pansies are the native flower on my island. And what I did, oh yes, Pave, thank you. I could not remember his name. Pave was who it was that came in February for Mardi Gras. But as I was saying here, I wanted a blue and white kind of, because I always find the colors of blue and white to be very calming. So I thought that this would be a very calming spot using that blue and white kind of aesthetic. Blue pansies makes it really, really nice. Put a couple of white pansies here. I still have pansies growing in the wild. I probably will take these pansies up, and I believe that there is a pattern that I found for a picnic blanket that also uses the blue kind of color scheme. And I plan to, I don't know, I may need to close this pool in, I'm sorry, close this in just a little bit here to give me a little bit more space, but I believe here I'm going to set up a picnic area that kind of works along with the color scheme that I have here. So right on the other side of this is where I set up a bamboo grove, and I put a cypress bathtub here. I probably will come back in this area and as well do some sort of layout of tiles or a textile or ground cover. But one of the things that I wanted to see tonight, and this again is me just experimenting, this is a lower level here, and I'm not sure if I can, but I'm going to find out if I can. I don't think I'll be able to. What I was thinking about doing here was actually using some of this bamboo lattice fencing and putting it along here, but I don't have enough space. I don't think I will pull this in any further in order to be able to do that, because I do like the space. It's kind of tight, but it's just the right size for what I'm looking for. So I don't think I will do anything there with the bamboo fencing to disrupt that look and feel. So up here we've visited the pool resort area. We have the lookout point, and then we have the bamboo grove area here with the cypress bathtub. So now we're going to go back down to the second level, and here is where I will tell you this island layout really took my heart. I had two things that were great. One, the resident services was set back on the island and not right at the front. And the second is this is a natural heart-shaped pond that came as part of the island. And when I saw that, I was sold. Okay. Yes, I love the heart pond. It was really, really exciting to be able to get that. Now, I had seen on YouTube, how people made the heart ponds and all of that stuff like that, but I was like, I'm not very good with that waterscaping tool. You want to see me mess up something? Put that tool in my hand and I'll start messing up a river real quick. I did a little bit last night on the river setup, and I'll kind of show that to you in a few minutes. But what I really liked about this, I immediately started having ideas about my island. So this again, kind of a romantic setting, and fortunately, the secret beach was also right there behind the heart-shaped pond. And so here I was able to set up what I call a lover's place. You can come here, you can propose to someone, you can give them roses. I have a beautiful harp here, and I use one of the coconut lamps to kind of give it some sort of aesthetic feel there. So the only time you are disturbed here as lovers is when Red shows up, and Red comes so infrequently. I just figured I'll just go ahead and use that space for something aesthetically pleasing. All right, so on the other side of the heart pond is where you'll find our campsite. So here we have our campsite. I was so excited over Christmas when we got the play play tents for the kids tents. I was like, this is awesome, because I always wanted to have a real true campsite area, but the only way you could really achieve it was to like build another residence house and just leave it at the at the tent level. So I didn't have to waste the time or the effort building that. So now what I have here, I'll try to move this a little bit. But now what I have here is we have the campsite, place we can eat. We have a couple of campers that can be on the campsite. And that is pretty much what this area is dedicated to here. So I have a little bit more work that I need to do on this area. I am trying to figure out I'm trying to decide how I want to build a ramp that'll bring you up to this area from the beach. So I will do that, and I'll think about that, and that'll be one of the things that I'll change. And also I want to build a ramp that goes up to the third level here outside of the campground. And so the reason I have these here as placeholders. The reason I have these here as placeholders is because my goal is to add a second and a third resident. I'll talk about the third resident soon, resident representative, but I'm going to add a second resident representative up here, and it will be a one-room house. I'll upgrade it to one room, and the concept there is to have a general store. So when you're camping, you can come. You can just go upstairs if you're missing something, you need something for your camping needs. You'll be able to go up to the general store and grab it, and it'll be right there outside of the camping area. All right, so now that's pretty much that part. You can get to the campsite, of course, by going down the incline there. Here is another small neighborhood. This is where Coco and Gwen live, and how appropriate. The two of them are sitting by the river right in front of their house. Isn't that cute? That's so adorable. How appropriate. So this is Coco's house, and this is Gwen's house. And I did connect this week. I did connect them to their other neighbors in the neighborhood here. So now they can come and visit their neighbors, and likewise their neighbors can come and visit them from this neighborhood. And then I built another bridge that would connect over to this area, which right now has a bunch of trees in it, but my plan for this area is to actually make this more sandy and turn it into like a theme park or a beach resort area, kind of to match up with the fact that when you go up these stairs here, I just built this incline last night. This is where I did some waterscaping. I'm so glad it came out okay. And once you go there, you can actually come back, and as you notice, it ties the theme back together with the pool resort area. So we didn't have access to the pool resort area yesterday from the beach area, but I built this incline here and did a little bit of waterscaping. I'm so glad it came out pretty decent. It was looking kind of rough in the beginning, but thankfully it came out okay. And now that's how you can connect back from what will be the resort area here up to the resort pool, and then you can come back from the resort pool back down to the beach area. And as I said, I'll put an amusement park here, a couple of other beach themed type of things. Probably will turn the majority of this grass into sandy area to give me a little bit more of a beach and represent the beach space. So now we've run back into Wisp again. We have all 5 of Wisp pieces. So let's see what we get for our hard work. Typically something you don't want, but we'll see. We'll find out what Wisp gives us tonight. And Vanessa, thank you so much for the compliments. I do have a lot of fun working on the islands. It's very relaxing for me. My day job is somewhat stressful, and so Although I've gotten used to living in the COVID world, I still haven't gotten used to the stress on my job, so I still play Animal Crossing. I started playing Animal Crossing in the beginning to kind of relieve some of the stress with the start of the pandemic last year, and I continue to play. It just continues to give me a great outlet. So let's see what kind of furniture we're going to get. I don't think it matters if you tell Wisp you want something new or something expensive. She's going to give you what she's got anyway, so some of the trickery. Throwback wrestling figure. You know, there's a reason why I did not buy the one that was sitting in my Nook's Cranny. Anyhow, anyhow, that's it is what it is. All right, so this is again the beach area, the resort area. My pier is here. And since my pier is here, I've marked an area right here where I will build a third resident representative house. And the goal of this is to make this, again, a a one room shack is what I'll call it. And the purpose of it being one room is so that this can serve as like a fish and bait shop. So that's the idea around that. So you'll have a fish and bait shop that's right near the pier, ties right back in with the theme of the beachy area, the beachy resort area that we're going to have here. And then you can continue on down and be a part of and enjoy the resort area on Laguna Bay. I don't know what I'm going to do with the peninsula yet. I did do a tour earlier of my sister island, my original island on the peninsula there. I kind of built a theme where a young girl is sitting there looking at one of these portraits. I forgot which portrait it was, but he's her lover, long lost lover, sailor, out to sea. And so she's sitting on the peninsula, you know, writing him a letter and you know, longing for him to come home. So that's what I did on that peninsula. I finally got the recipe for a rocket, and I think I may borrow some themes from an idea that I've seen before with having a spaced themed type of area. Not sure yet. That's why I haven't completed this out yet, because I'm really not sure how I want to represent my resort area yet. All right, so now we're going to go back across the bridge here. This brings us back to the neighborhood that I talked about earlier. And when we cross this bridge here, we come back to what I consider to be the shopping district on Laguna Bay. And then, of course, we come back to the beautiful setting that we have here outside of resident services. And so for the most part, we've seen that side of the island. And so now we will make our way over to the other side of the island. Here I still have quite a bit of free space to think about how I want to lay this out. I think earlier someone was asking about they were asking about the concert area. So for anybody who's joined, this is Kyle's house. We're going to have a little bit of an arcade outside of it. Kyle's a musician, so this is where we find the concert on the rocks and the concert area on the rocks. And if you remember what I was showing you about this being near, on the other side, being near the campsite, that's why I was looking and trying to figure out how to build a ramp that would take you up this ramp, connect you back to the campsite, so you could come down from either the campsite or the city to actually participate or see a concert on the rock out there. This one, again, still areas of my island that I have not decorated yet, but there's plenty of time to do it. The one thing I learned about Animal Crossing is if you take your time in building your island, I think the game becomes more enjoyable. My other island, I probably had it built by the summer. with pretty much all the elements that I wanted to have in it. And because there weren't any more real events or anything that didn't start happening until later in the fall, I did become a little bit weary of the island. And so this time around, I just figured I would just take my time, think through what I wanted to do on this island, how I wanted to represent my thoughts for this Laguna Bay Enchanted Island type of resort area, beach. And so I'm just taking my time with it, gathering materials as I go along. It's great to have the initial primary island because there I do have lots of recipes and lots of things that I can have for this island. And I always refer to them as sisters. So Enchante has two sisters on Fresh Breeze, Stormy and Sparkles. They often visit each other on each other's islands, help each other out in, things like gathering money or taking care of weeds or moving flowers around. So I just consider them to be sisters. One just happened to move to a resort area, and the other one is still at home base. So that's how we're kind of set up here. So this is my buddy Pietro. Now there is a story around Pietro. As you can see, Pietro, he's got a lot going on with his look. And I remember in the early days, I had a player that I was playing with, and she had Pietro on her island. And I would go visit as often as, she was online. I would go visit as many days that I could. And I would always look for Pietro because he's kind of scary cute, And so when I started setting up this island and I was buying my plots of land and then going to the Mystery Islands, of course, I run across Pietro and I was like, you know what, I got to have him on my island. So that's how he ended up here. There are times that he says things that do appear to be a bit creepy, like the fact that he keeps saying that he met you in his dreams before he came out on the island. But overall, it's just fun. I found going to visit Pietro was tons of fun. And so, of course, being able to have him on my island here of Laguna Bay was also a joy because, like I said, he's scary, creepy, funny. So that is just where he is. I'm coming up on my third hour of streaming, so I have about 15 more minutes left. So what I'd like to do is just take a few moments. I see there's some people in the chat. So if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to ask about some of the gameplay, I'm one of those people who has close to 2,000 or more hours in this game playing it. I'm not ashamed to say it. I used to be ashamed, but I'm no longer ashamed to say it. I enjoy Animal Crossing very much. So there might be some tips or tricks that I could share with you from some of the things that I've learned. Particularly, as I said, there's a big, huge difference in how I started the layout and the design of this island after going through the initial build of my first island. Lots of things I did quite differently here than I did on that island. And if there's any tips or tricks that you could think of that you would like to know, I'd be more than happy to share them with you. Oh, and before I go, I talked about earlier creating like an arcade type area or a recreational type area. Where that would end up being is the space that sits right behind. It's kind of open right here. It sits right behind the museum and my resident services. Unfortunately, I wanted to put like a dinosaur museum out here with a bunch of fossils that I had. But there was an aesthetic that I was looking for, and that aesthetic was pretty much one where when you were standing here in front of the museum and you would look up, you would see the actual big dinosaurs that I had gathered. So what I found out I went and I built levels. So I built the second level, third level. That was as far as I could go. I stuck the dinosaurs on top, and you couldn't see them. So I said, okay, well, that's not going to give me the aesthetic that I want, obviously, because the I can't make the cliffs tall enough to put the dinosaurs on so that you could see them. So I retreated back from that. I kind of cleared this area back out. I may just put one of the dinosaurs out here as part of the theme when building the gaming area, the recreational type area. But I think for the most part, I'm gonna kind of turn this into an urban-like area where you can come and play games like pool and foosball and that sort of thing. So as I said, I'm about to wrap up for this evening. I have about 10 more minutes, a little bit more than 10 minutes that I'm going to be online. I want to thank everyone who joined us tonight. Thank you so much. I do see as a mod that there might have been a couple of other people who would have joined us in the chat, but I want this to be a very family friendly type of stream. Try to stay clear, even myself, from using curse words. So I do see that there was someone who was trying to be a part of the chat, but the message was held for profanity. And because I'm trying to build a safe place where anyone of any age can come and enjoy the gameplay, I kind of block that kind of thing. So sorry to whoever it was that was trying to get in chat. Just clean it up a little bit. I think some of my chat rules say, we need to be respectful and mindful of what we say, because words do matter. And so that being the case, sorry that you didn't get a chance to chat like you would have wanted to. But again, I have no problem with you being a part of the group, as long as you understand that this is a safe place. We don't bully, we don't call out names, we don't, use curse words. So just keep that in mind. And if you're willing to abide by those rules, we're happy to have you as part of our community. So I want to say thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate all of your comments on the work on the islands. I will follow you right after this stream, and hopefully if you have a schedule, I'll be able to find you online, and I will certainly come and visit your island through as you're streaming. So with that, I think I'll just do a couple of things, a couple of housekeeping things here. I want to make sure that I have gone in and talked to Isabel to see where we are in our island score. When we started this morning, we were at 4 stars. So let me see where we are now. Oh, wow. We finally made it to the 5-star rating. Oh, this is awesome. So I will maybe tomorrow, in the next couple of days, we might have some of the Lily of the Valleys available to us, or at least we'll get our first Lily of the Valley. But I am super excited. I started playing this game on December 17th. So December, January, February, March. So it took about 3 months to get to the 5-star rating. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited to share that with you tonight as part of the stream. So this is really exciting. I'm glad I came to talk to Isabel and find out about it. So I think now I will get the golden watering can. Woohoo! And with the golden watering can, maybe the next thing will start to grow is our black roses, and then we can water the black roses with our golden watering can, and we will get golden roses. So that's super exciting. We'll work towards that rare hybrid of the black rose, and then we'll work from those black roses to see can we start to get the golden roses. So that's super exciting. Very happy about that tonight. All right. No, I'm good for now. And so we will learn our, so we have the golden watering can. And I don't know if Tom Nook has something for us to celebrate tonight, but we'll take a moment and see. And if he does, then we can go out and have a celebration with the residents. Yes, he does. Okay, so we'll enjoy that ceremony. Hope it's probably around, yes, the completion of the new incline. So I sure am interested. So we're going to go out tonight and we're going to celebrate that incline, because I'm pretty sure adding that incline to go up to the resort. Yes, the incline going up to the resort area really really helped with that 5-star rating. So we're going to dedicate it, and look at that. Woohoo! All right, and I will go ahead and take my snapshot when they're all excited and throwing confetti. All right. I'm just going to say, woo! I'm super excited. All right. So now they're going to throw us a little confetti party. All right. All right. So here we go. All right. So I took the picture of them throwing confetti. So we did our celebration tonight for the building of our island. I'm sorry, for the building of our incline. We also celebrated becoming a 5-star island. So this is awesome. As I said, I did 7 straight nights, consecutive nights of streaming. I would not have been able to get to that 5-star island had I not been sharing this time with you online here with as we built and continued to decorate Laguna Bay. So thank you so much. Thanks to everyone who participated and joined us during our 7 nights of streaming. I will be setting up a schedule that will give more regular dates and times for my streaming. I know with quite a few other things I have coming up, I will not be able to dedicate 7 nights straight to streaming, but I will try to set up a schedule where I am at least online 2 or 3 times during the week, and I'll try to be consistent with that. And I look forward to all of the new followers joining, and I want to thank you so much. I had a great time tonight. Thank you so much, and you all have a very good evening. Take care now.